Our top story and action news on WPVI TV channel 6 and filmed on this Thursday, October the 1st, 1992, is the Bucks County court system is exploiting taxpayers by proposing to spend nearly $3 million more next year, Republican Commissioner Marky Schwenker said Wednesday. Schwenker in his file, commissioners expressed frustration at Wednesday's meeting over their inability to force the court to observe spending limits, although the commissioners directed all departments to hold the line over spending for 1993, the courts proposed that a $26.4 million budget is $2.9 million or 12.4% higher than this year's. The courts also ignored that the commissioner's request to propose a contingency plan to cut spending by 10%. If the court budget is not reduced, county taxpayers would have to pay an additional $3 million, equivalent of 2% of two property tax mills. Finance Director Stanley Allen is preparing the preliminary 1993 budget, which must be released on November 15th. The county faces the prospect of the 1993 tax revenues where tax could fall short of projected expenditures by $9 million that has been hit by a double whammy of state funding cuts and a likely drop in the tax base. Schwenker, a long-time critic of the court spending, complained that the judicial branch is screwing the commissioners who have the sole responsibility for funding the budget. He said that the judges consider themselves co-equals with the commissioners and nor subject to the directives. The property taxpayer is pinned to the mat, Schwenker said Republican Commissioner Chairman Andrew I. Warren. As long as we raise revenues and they spend it quality, never forth, they'll be co-equal. Democratic Commissioner Senator A. Miller complained that commissioners are held accountable by the voters for tax increases, but judges are not held accountable for spending increases. Central Bucks School Board Building Committee on Wednesday continued to build its foundation of the information from which it will make recommendations about how to handle the anticipated enrollment issue. Rob Jennings at his point. The 3-hour discussion over that covered an environmental topics explained the need for the additional facilities. In fact, there must be considered before entering into a building project. A common point made by first committee members at the meeting related to the cost and the importance of balancing the needs of the growing student population and the impact it will have on the taxpayers. Several members said that the cost of the driving factor in determining support for the recommendations that it will give to the school board. Highlights of the discussion were the estimated tax impact of the district incurring an additional $20 million worth of debt to fund the school expansion projected would be about $8.4 million, according to the CNB Business Administrator Gene B. Abil. This is based on the current value of the $1 million equivalent by nearly $240,000. For an individual owning a new $200,000 home assessed at $10 million to $10,000 and $8.4 million would cost an additional $84,000 in school real estate taxes. Three districts is not the preferred alternative to provide an additional cost in place until new facilities are provided either for the new construction or expansion of existing buildings. Before taking a dramatic step in realigning the attendance areas, Dr. and Robert Laws, superintendent, said the district would eliminate the music and or art room in schools to provide more classroom space as well as consider requiring portable classrooms. In addition, district officials may consider moving a grade level to another location. For example, the district next year may be forced to move to a grade level at Warwick Elementary School, which reaches the building capacity of this year to Central Bucks East High School or possibly the Middle Bucks area vocational technical school where space may be available. The committee is recommending the district use its current guidelines of a recommended class and school sites when planning the new facilities unless the school board decides otherwise. The district has generally used the 25 students per classroom. Rob Jennings, Channel 6 Action News. In Washington, the House on Wednesday easily sustained President Bush's veto of a bill requiring many businesses to give their workers time off in family emergencies. Democrats pledged to redouble efforts to make family leave a major issue to the campaign for the White House. The vote on the politically charged bill was 258 to 169, well short of the two-thirds majority needed to override Bush. It was the 33rd consecutive time but Bush has made his veto stick. The vote came as lawmakers rushed to wrap up their business for the year and return home to tender on political concerns and fund legislation fixed in education policy through a bill provided Israel loan guarantees that a measure to move a federal air and space museum next to the Denver never knew was too large or too small to attract the attention of lawmakers. In a defeat of the family leave bill, supporters would support the veto would reverberate next month's presidential election as Democrat Bill Clinton supports measure. Bush has promoted family values as a campaign theme. This is a campaign. It is framed. Yes, it really is who is a family, said Representative Patricia Stroder. Despite the partisan split, 42 Democrats deserted the party and voted to sustain Bush's veto. 38 Republicans voted to override the president. The measure was strongly opposed by lobbyists for small businesses. Opponents pointed to the Bush's 11-hour alternative $500 million in tax credits for business that are granting unpaid leave to workers. That's a better, more effective way, said House Minority Leader Bob Mitchell, Republican of Illinois. That's the second time Bush has voted a family leave that he vetoed and made it stick off when he voiced support for the concept during the 1980 election. Campaign Bush posted a similar measure in 1990. The action followed an emotional debate in which supporters of the bill were condemned Bush's veto as incoherent and found that if Clinton is elected, a tougher family leave law will be enacted next year. And speaking of debate, President Bush and Bill Clinton exchanged barbed wire campaign debates on Wednesday as the two camps will rarely open in negotiations for a series of combat face-to-face encounters. After days of intense maneuvering, the two sides agreed to meet Wednesday night. We'll all just wait and see what develops, said Axel Glenn, the spokesman for the Bush campaign. The announcement that the two sides will meet greatly and increase the likelihood there with the debates this fall, without independent Ross Perot of the campaign itself, seemed instantly frozen in place, and Clinton commands that it will digitally over the most polls. But the potential for an overpowering performance or an unpredictable gap by either candidates means that the debates could completely remake the race. While Mr. Supervisors have backed off on the manager's statement last week that the townships would be accepting responsibility soon for the streets in the Warminster Heights development. That's not a done deal, said Supervisor Frank Espersines at the Warren Township meeting. In response to questions from Republican Elizabeth T. Huff, there is no set determination that will be done. A week ago, Howard Township Manager Eugene B. McCall Jr. said he expected the township to accept dedication for the lease a majority of the streets in the Warminster Heights development on October the 13th. Also on October the 13th, a public hearing is scheduled at an ordinance that will redirect the vote of traffic flood to development, and McGill said the township would not be able to enforce those measures unless the township owns the roads. One of the proposed traffic flow charges would be to make 25 streets that are one-way because the roads in the 50-year-old development of Jacksonville Road are narrower than township codes require. Our next for agreement between the residents of Heights, which is corporately owned, and a former board of supervisors stated that the township will not accept the roads that they meet all the requirements of it and the regulation. Huff of Paul Lane asked how much it would be cost of the township to repair the roads and why Warminster Heights was not asked to meet the same requirements for its roads prior to dedication that other developments must be met. I have not seen any more facts about what they've done to bring them up to our township. In Tokyo, a mistaken flip of a switch by a nuclear-powered plant worker caused a reactor's coolant pump to fault, a government official said on Wednesday, but an emergency system took over and prevented a nuclear meltdown. The automatic activation of the emergency coolant system prevented the radiation from being released by the plant in Fukushima Prefecture about 70 miles northeast of Tokyo. Local officials sharply criticized the Tokyo Electric Power Company, the plant's owner, for not notifying residents for asked about the emergency shut down an 18-year-old reactor. The case is a very serious emergency because it triggered the emergency core coolant system, said Jinsberg Takagi, a physicist who heads the Citizen Nuclear Information Center in an anti-nuclear group. It was the first shutdown using an emergency system since Japan's West nuclear accident at Miami, Western Japan in February 1981, when a small amount of reactor was released in the atmosphere. Trapped stuck in his leave at the worst thing that happened, or the best thing that ever happened in North Bench and in Nishanami Creek. Supporters that redesignated the creek from a trout stocking fishery to a warm water fishery on Wednesday night told the State Environmental Quality Board that the stream is too polluted, too sluggish, and too warm to support trout, and keeping the designation will waste millions of dollars. And opponents of the designation said the creek can support trout in North Penn and North Wales water of 40 days and are required to cool Delaware River water before diverting into the creek. Representatives of the Quasi-Judicial Board and the State Department of Environmental Reactions Resources held a public hearing at the Warrenton Fire Stewards listening to testimony for and against the 40 days request to change the creek's designation. About 60 people attended. The authorities are seeking to change the designation because it requires the Delaware River water discharge of the creek by the Point Pleasant Water Diversion Project, the pump not exactly exceeded 34 degrees between February 15th and July the 31st. John Jerison, a fisheries scientist, consulted the authorities that the extensive studies have shown that North Bench polluted intermittent stream is too warm to support trout. He said it never should have been designated as a trout stream in the first place. Anson said requiring that the authorities would build a $20 million chill to cool the river water before the discharge would be environmentally and economically unsound. Even if cold, the water would be quickly heat up again once it into the creek, he said. Abington School District has announced that it will reopen schools on Monday, but it is certain not that the district striking teachers will show up. At the program session on Tuesday, district officials informed teacher union representatives that schools will reopen on Monday to ensure that students can receive 180 days of instruction by June 15th, required at Act 68 of the Act is a state law that we passed earlier this year to regulate teacher strikes. However, that date to restart in classes designated to provide children with 10 holidays in Pennsylvania school code only requires two: Memorial Day and Christmas. An official in Abington Education Association, which represents Appleton's 413 teachers said on Wednesday was not certain teachers would return on Monday. We don't know after this point, said Mekowitz and AE Vice President. We are checking out the law. The union reportedly informed that the board would consult the legal counsel and advise the school district of its intention regarding the return to work. District representatives previously said October 9 was the deadline for the teachers to return as set by Act 38. That was based on students having only 2 holidays. The district's position now, according to spokesman Brian Goldstein, is that the health and welfare of the children in this community require at least 10 holidays during the remainder of the school year. Along with Memorial Day and 2 days for Christmas, the district intends to provide students with holidays for Yom Kippur, New Year's Day, President's Day, Good Friday, Memorial Day, and Martin Luther King Day, as well as 2 days for Thanksgiving. Mekowitz added that he doesn't think there was a chance that the contract was able to be settled before Monday. Students should plan to report. Under any circumstances, said that James F. McCaffrey and Hamilton as assistant superintendent. Meanwhile, citizens group that formed and organized support for one of the school board continues. A new pumping station is planned for the northeastern section of Upper Moreland, and the result cost eventually will filter down to all customers in the Upper Moreland Hotspurs joint sewer authority. Authority General Manager William Westnock said that the $8.5 million project will be completed over the next 3 years. About $1 million of the cost will be covered by the rate increases to all customers. An unrelated matter to the afforded budget for the fiscal year 1992-93, which begins today, keeps rates at the current level for 6 months on April 1st. Rates will increase from 3.70 to 4.10 per thousand gallons of water. Westnock said the increase will be used to fund various projects. The reason whether the rate increase isn't in part due to the increase in expenditures. Westnock added, plus we are putting the money, he said, there are things that are wearing out. Westnock said that for 40 plus the plan's gradual small rate increases in annually to cover higher expenditures. He had noted that he had 40 hopes to avert the controversy that endured last year when the rates rose more than 50% after 7 years of stability. We're not going into the year to give a great big rate increase to fund this project, and Westnock noted. We'll gradually increase revenues and then the cost will be reworked in the normal rate increases. We're not going to have any dramatic rate increases on the way we have in the past. Our idea is to make sure we have gradual rate increases over the time. The new department and the pumping station will increase service 30 homes in the Huntington Valley and Thurso Park. New Century Associates have developed the marketplace at Huntington Valley at County Line and Davisville Roads have given a $47,000 contribution toward the project. Assessments for the homes and businesses that will benefit from the pumping station will total $860,000 afforded will fund $3,829,133. In all, the new pumping station will immediately have 30 residential and 170 commercial and industrial connections in Western City will be capable of adding additional homes and businesses in the future. The project includes installing the 5 miles of pipe and a mile of the forced main in which is a presumed pressure pipe for the pump. Philadelphia, the chance of getting into the new disease like the threat donating blood remains surprisingly low, and even the risk of would not outweigh the benefit of the life-saving transfusion, Boston researchers conclude. The researchers' risk analyst comes as the scientists investigating numerous AIDS-like illness afflicting people who do not have HIV/AIDS virus said. Transfusion of blood products means a remarkable safe in the United States. Scientists wrote in the first day's Annals of Internal Medicine published in Philadelphia. While continuing to strive to improve safety, we need to ensure that an unjustified level of concern does not lead to lives lost. Reports on the new illness surfaced in the July International AIDS Conference, and the Centers for Disease Control has since confirmed that 50 cases of the immune deficiency disease and questions were immediately raised about the new nation's blood supply, despite the lack of evidence that the illness dispute fought blood. On Tuesday, the World Health Organization said that the experts who reviewed the cases of illness worldwide found no evidence that were caused by a new virus, and an editorial publishing and was preempted by concerns over reports of the new disease, according to the lead author, Dr. S. Jody Hyman of Harvard School of Public Health. We worried that the people wouldn't need to refuse transfusions of risk times, she said. Harrisburg, a panel of the Pennsylvania legislature panel Wednesday approved the sale of 123 state-owned buildings and more than 5,000 acres of land. The House and Senate State Committee of the Government Committee approved the sale, and after the Department of General Services said the state doesn't need to properties anymore in the full House, and the Senate approved for the property sale will include the 4 lots and residents at the attached to the Norristown State Hospital with a total value of about $260,000. There's no need for the state to own so many woods on the Norristown property a little bit long because not as many doctors are choosing to live on the site, said Matt Jones, a spokesman for the Department of Public Welfare. Harrisburg, more than 400,000 Pennsylvania children and whose families don't have a health insurance can't wait for the state lawmakers to play politics with their lives. Children's advocates said Wednesday. Members of the Children's Health Campaign said $20 million have been set aside to provide health care coverage for the needy children, but that lawmakers have failed to put the program in action. The money comes from a tax on the cigarettes that lawmakers proposed in 1991. All Mr. Today is a simple one. Children can no longer wait while adults debate, said Ronald Sill, executive director of the Children's Campaign. The $20 million could help provide health insurance many as 35,000 kids, as Sill said during the Capitol News Conference in Harrisburg. It's a good start, he said. Lawmakers should make health care insurance for children a priority in the special legislature session that begins on Monday, Sill said. Next week, the special legislature session will give legislatures on both political parties a chance to demonstrate to Pennsylvania voters who's for kids and who's just kidding, Sill said. Representative Alan Kukovich, the Democrat of Westmoreland, said that representatives from the legislature and governor's office have been meeting almost daily for the past 2 months to come up with a compromise. They're close to the set, but the problem is getting both chambers in the same time to vote. Kukovich said the proposal would cover children from age 19 from birth for most health care services, and the parties involved are amicable to work out an agreement, just a matter of how and when. Increases in Pennsylvania released more than 8 million tons of toxic chemicals and 180 million pounds into the environment in 1999, forest record in the country's according to a study released on Wednesday. The study from Citizen Action Fund using the data from Environmental Protection Agency is reported in May, June. Chemicals released in the air and water and land, said Jeffrey Skelton, a spokesman for the group. The amount of the pollutants was down 11% from 1989, but that may be because of the recession and less industrial activity, Skelton said. Paola Salva, a spokesman for the Department of Environmental Resources, said the numbers are encouraging. She said the study reflects a steady decrease in the amount of pollution in the state. She also said that the Pennsylvania is ranking among other states that could be misleading because of the overall amount of the pollution is not as important as what we've been released. Mr. DeFalsavo has not seen the Citizen Action study, but said that the EPA report that charged legal chemical discharge. The study found that the total pollution, 32.8 million pounds of toxic chemicals were released in the air in 1990, and over 21.9 million pounds of energy emergencies were released in the air, water, and land. Amtrak service on the crowded northeast quarter came to a complete stop for more than 3 hours Wednesday because of the sagging power lines outside the Wilmington Amtrak service on the crowded northeast quarter came to a complete stop for more than 3 hours Wednesday because of sagging power lines over the tracks just over the Wilmington, Delaware station. About 7,000 passengers were delayed for at least an half an hour as Amtrak canceled 10 trains and bus passengers on 7 hours between Philadelphia and Washington, said Clifford Black, spokesman in Washington, said between Philadelphia and Wilmington. Amtrak also detoured some passenger trains under its maintenance tracks and Conrail freight tracks, he said. Okay, take a look at the weather now. Here now, Dave Roberts. Thank you very much, Jim. Right now, current conditions here at 6 o'clock reports around the region. It's 59 out in Philadelphia, 60 in Northeast Philadelphia, 20. Now 60 degrees in Trenton. It's 61 in Wilmington, Delaware, 63 in Newark, 59 in LaGuardia in New York City, 61 in JFK in New York City, 60 in Jackson, 58 in Toms River, 60 in Millville, 59 in Atlantic City and Wildwood, New Jersey, 59 in Allentown, 59 in Redden, 62 in Harrisburg, 60 in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, 59 out in Dover, Delaware, and it's 63 out in Baltimore and 62 in Washington, D.C. Here. Take a look at our map situation. Shows much beautiful weather from much of the region here, much of the nation here. A stationary front down for southern Florida, bringing some few showers around Florida. A low pressure with a cold front off the Oregon Washington coast, bringing some scattered showers down for the Oregon Washington coastline. And 2 areas of high pressure, 1 from Utah and 1 in Virginia. Here. Okay, let's take a look at our 7 day. Let's take a look at our forecast here. For tonight, for the Delaware Valley, it'll be mostly cool tonight, low in the mid to upper 40s and mostly sunny and not so cool Friday. Highs 70 to 75 degrees, lows 45 to 50 degrees. And Saturday and Sunday will be a dry and sunny weekend. High about 70 low and 15 degrees on both days. And it'll continue on Monday with a dry sunny skies. High about 70 low about 50 degrees. Wednesday, the air quality was good to worse. Pollutant was sulfur dioxide, which increased in incidence and severity of respiratory disease. Today's air quality will mean good. No evidence shows that ozone readings in the upper moderate range. Okay, sunset tonight, 6:43 p.m. at about 24 minutes from that. Sunrise tomorrow, 6:58 a.m. and moonrise today, 12:48 p.m. and moonset tonight, 10:16 p.m. here. And high tide in Bristol, 7:58 p.m. and at Atlantic City, 8:58 p.m. That's going to be it for the weather. I'm Dave Roberts here now. Gary Papa with the next sports. Alright, thank you, Gary. Okay, thank you, Dave. The Phillies have the night off. Tomorrow will be a travel day as they will wrap up tomorrow. the 1992 season with a 3-game weekend series against the Cardinals in St. Louis. It was more than small gesture than anyone else, but at least Murray said then he can finish the 1992 season as an active member of the Phillies. The Phils activated Murphy from the disabled list before Wednesday night's game. Murphy has been on the DL since May 19th after 2 separate operations in his left knee. Murphy needs just 2 homers for 400, but don't expect to see him get as active this year. I'm semi-active, Murphy said, and Murphy is still able to want to play the field. Any action he gets over the last 3 games will be a pinch hitter. Figosi tries to use right-handed pinch hitters against Sid Fernandez on Wednesday night, and then but Murphy never left the bench. The Philadelphia Eagles are getting ready for their tilt against the Dallas Texans. Now the real test begins. The Eagles defense shut down New Orleans, a power running team. It shut down Denver, a power passing team, and it shut down Phoenix, a power nothing team. Now, for the first time this year, it finds itself faced with a 2-faceted offense. Shut down Emmitt Smith, and you got to deal with Michael Irvin, and shut down Michael Irvin, you got to deal with Emmitt Smith. Maybe Monday night we'll learn just how good this defense really is. They've got a great offense, kind of like a mirror image of our strong safety Andrew Waters said to the Cowboys. If you can take the 2 of them out of the game, but you've got to take one of them out of the game. You can look around the league and you won't find many teams with 2 weapons like that. One of the best running backs in the league and one of the best wide receivers in the league in 19 regular season games since the 1991 season began. Smith is averaging 1.2 rushing yards per game, and Irvin is averaging about 99.7 receiving yards per game, and they lead the NFL in rushing and receiving yards last year. They're leading. While most of the teammates parted to life without Keith Jefferson Wednesday, one was celebrated. It's kind of like a cloud that was over. Me is gone, said Pat Beach, said knowing him not coming back. And knowing I'm going to be in the tight end, it's a loss for us, but it's a good thing for me. Beach stand by the Eagles 5 days before the regular season began and started the 3 games for the Eagles and provides steady and spectacular play in the tight end spot. I'm not Keith Jackson, but I'm Pat Beach and I got a lot of heart and I want to help this football team, said Beach, an 11-year veteran, and I'm not nearly the tight end he is, but I have a lot of things as well. Jackson signed a 4-year contract with a free agent with the Miami Dolphins on Tuesday after 4 seasons with the Eagles. That's left Beach, 2nd-year pro Maurice Johnson and Confederate running back Keith Barnes remained the tight end spot. Keith Jackson was the guy who runs good wicks and catch passes for you and said that 6'4", 250-pound Beach. I'm more of a textbook big guy. I like to be able to block big guys a little better than him and catch passes underneath the linebackers. Barnes has split time between running back and tight end this year, and it seems to be adjusted in his new role. And in fact, he even conceded Wednesday that he'd like to be listed on Pro Bowl ballots at the tight end because I don't qualify as running back. The procedure to correct Fowler's goaltender Tommy Soderstrom's irregular heartbeat turned into the marathon session on Wednesday night at Harman University Hospital in Philadelphia, but doctors were optimistic they would get it resolved. Soderstrom underwent a catheterization process to clear up a secondary heart signal condition known as Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome. Doctors used the radio wave to try to knock out the secondary signal as team physician Dr. Jeffrey Arnell said the procedure went longer than expected because the secondary signal was tougher to knock out than anticipated. They estimated that the secondary signal that the problem is a normal conductive pathway, which holds that the secondary signal is very close to the normal pathway and that they don't want to damage this, Hartnell said. Hartzell said that the doctors who were proceeding cautiously but hoped to be finished by last night early today as Soderstrom was conscious of during the procedure and talking with the doctors, and Soderstrom's conditions complicates a Flyers goalie picture. All the free agent goaltender Dale Rio played well for the 2 periods of the 5-3 loss at Tampa Bay on Tuesday night. There is a great speculation that the team will go after another veteran to back up #1 goaltender Dominic Russell. The Flyers saw their exhibition record fall to 2-5-0 Wednesday night when they failed the Boston Bruins at 65 as Mark Recchi, Gary Galley, Jason Brown, and Randy McGill and Kevin Dinnan were. The goal scorers of the Flyers were split time and a goal with Rio and Russell. First, there was a euphoria that Magic Johnson would turn into the NBA legend back in the lineup for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now there's reality. A basketball player bound on a deadly disease facing a grand traveling games as first-year coach struggling in a roster that will be a player short for 20, perhaps 30 games. It's not a pretty picture as it may seem. While Justin Hernandez returned on Tuesday after sitting out the season when he tested a positive for the virus that causes AIDS. Everybody knows what's best for him and his family, said Al McGuire, a long-time NBA player and next coach. But I'm wondering if his anxiety. He's looking in the All-Star Game Olympics and being willing to they wore flux games compared to what goes on in the NBA. Johnson was the MVP of the last season's NBA All-Star Game and the co-captain America's gold medal basketball team in the Olympics at Barcelona. There's a false security because of the games he played, But in those games, he was no undercutting, no banging, and no bumping. The idea for Johnson to play between 50 and 60 games on board back-to-back games is because I think that the part-time plan will be find him start but then I'll finish. I respect the amount of everything the guy does. But he said, but I can play half court. In that the playground and there is a lot of mess, and the NBA is on a marathon, even part-time. It's not 1 yard spirit. Johnson's gun goal spirit is something McGuire, but not some of the necessary endorses. Right now, it's like change that machine. The gun that's saying said, excuse me, I don't know what the virus works. Caught in the middle of the serenity fund, the Lakers' wicked coach the NBA teams carry 12 active players. For the Lakers, that would include Johnson. Miami Hurricanes coach Darren Sarkson has been to a great from the stomach aches, and the owner of 2 national championship rings. Florida State coach Bobby Bowden is more relaxed, quicker with a quick and is still looking for the first #1 finish. Their teams are remarkably outlined, fast, explosive, and tough in defense. I see 2 teams that are so similar. Bowden said, "You watch them on film, and it's almost like watching us play." Said Erickson, the permanent title contenders renewed their rivalry Saturday at the Orange Bowl. Last year, Florida State and Miami were ranked 1 and 2 when the Hurricanes won a 17-16 drill challenge and went on to the national championship. And this year, Miami and Florida State are ranked 2 and 3 in opposed to both past Washington and #1 ranking next week. Both teams are anchored by a defense that rely on speed to cover mistakes, and Miami 3-0 has allowed 4.7 points and 220 yards per game. The Seminoles 4.0 and allowed 50.3%. 303 yards against the toughest schedule. I know anybody better defensively than I've been seen in a long time, Erickson said. It's almost like facing an ourselves team, and we haven't got the first down against ourselves in years. Miami will be without defensive end Rusty Medeiros, who suffered a serious knee injury in the Saturday's 8-7 victory over Arizona. Medeiros, a junior with 22 career sacks, will miss the rest of the season, expected to return next year. Florida State has helped a one-back attack sooner Miami with 3 freshmen in the offensive line. The Seminoles are averaging 182 yards per game and 4.6 per carry on the ground. And that's going to be it for Action News. The 6 o'clock report is October 1st, 1992 on a Thursday. World News Tonight with Peter Jens coming next on Channel 6. We'll be back at 11. For now, Dave Roberts and Gary Prophet, Jim Carter saying have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye-bye, buddy.